Healthpreneurs, how's it going? Yuri Elkaim here, helping you turn your expertise for health and fitness into a thriving online business to help more people all around the world. I'm super pumped because I'm just about to head downstairs to the studio because I've got my main man, Elliot Hulse, in a special interview just for you to share his secrets about how he's used content to build his online presence and how you can do the same. Let's go there now and jump in. All right, so I'm here with my man, Elliot Hulse. How's it going, buddy?
Good, Yuri. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing very well. Good to connect with you. So I wanted to get you on the line here because you've been probably one of the most prolific content producers, especially when it comes to video content that I know. And I want to talk about that and how it's helped you really just really develop your online platform. But before we get into that, for everyone watching who may not know who you are, can you quickly tell us who you are, what you do, and where they can follow your work?
Oh, well, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I played college football, then I studied strength and conditioning, and I was a personal trainer who decided to open my own business. I started training people in the parks in 2007, before boot camps were a thing. I actually called it strength camp because I would take barbells and sandbags and plates, and I literally a gym in my van. I'd dump all that stuff out in the park, and I'd train people there until I ended up in a warehouse, and subsequently over the years, we've moved into bigger and bigger places. As far as online is concerned, right from the beginning, I started publishing my workouts to be purchased online, and I used content marketing to get my word out.
That's awesome. So how many YouTube videos do you have?
Over 2,000.
That's awesome. I have like 800, and I thought I was like, people are like, wow. I'm like, no, Elliot's got, you gotta see Elliot. He's got like thousands. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So so when you were training, like doing the strength camps and stuff, what was the moments, if you can remember, or maybe the process that you went through to be like, this just isn't making sense for me anymore, and I want to focus more of my time on the online kind of content delivery and selling my stuff online game?
Well, when I first left the gym, the big box gym that I was training at, and I went out to be my own trainer, I quickly realized that my lead source dried up. Right? I'm good at converting, I'm good at selling, but I had no more leads because when you work at the gym, they give you prospects that you can convert into clients. So I had to quickly learn how to market. This is back in 2007, and I was broke. I didn't have money for billboards. I didn't have money for newspaper ads and things of that nature, traditional brand marketing. But the internet was just kind of coming about. I was in St. Petersburg, Florida, and there was very little competition for me to rank very high in Google at the time. This was when people just started figuring out that, hey, I can go to Google for things. Mm-hmm. So knowing that people are going to be looking for personal trainers in St. Petersburg, I created a website to rank for that, and I decided to start taking some internet marketing classes so that I can gather leads from that website, bring them into my gym, and then convert them into clients. Along the process of learning internet marketing for leads for my gym, I also discovered that I can publish my ideas in a digital format. And the very same way I was getting leads for people in St. Petersburg, I could create ebooks or I could create video products and sell what I'm doing at the gym, my workouts, to people all over the world. And that's how it was kind of a light bulb went off, and I was like, this is actually a more leverageable way for me to earn an income.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got a big family, so it's not like you're a single guy who can just, work 24 hours a day. So I'm sure you love spending your time with your kids and your wife and enjoying all that great stuff too, which is terrific. So as you're kind of starting the online journey, publishing your content, was there ever a fear? Like, was there ever this internal dialogue thinking, like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have anything of value to add here. Was there ever that internal struggle? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Well, you hit the nail on the head when you talked about my having kids. And so, yes, there was a fear, but I had no fear about doubt because my fear was I have to put food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running with fear. There was fire under my ass, but I couldn't doubt myself. I had no time for that.
Yeah.
My kids, because I was feeling unsure and touchy and feely and uncomfortable about what I'm doing, my kids are not going to eat. No, that gets the ego very quickly gets put to the side.
It's the ultimate accountability.
Right, survival.
Yeah.
So whatever ill feelings I had or poor self-esteem needed to disappear. Wasn't there. I just said, I'm going to do what I have to do, but there was no room for that, even if it did creep in.
Nice, that's awesome. So for you, why is content important? Like, why not just do Google ads or paid traffic? Why did you decide to do video and content and really doing that as your main way of getting out there?
I got to be completely honest. It was easy. It was an easy lead source. Mm-hmm. When I created my first online product, I needed to get people to see it. I needed to get people, back then, squeeze pages were brand new, so I was cutting edge, and I needed people to get to my little page with the, back then too, it was just like a little box, everything above the fold. It was blue. It had some text and just the thing there. Awesome. So I needed to drive traffic to that. And when I started making YouTube videos, right, talking about what I'm doing at the gym, I started getting a lot of clicks to that squeeze page. So I quickly realized, and then people were, converting and then buying. So I quickly realized, oh, wow, the more I make these videos, the more traffic I drive to this page, the more my business grows.
Pretty simple process.
And it was free. Yeah. Easy and free. That's what it was.
No kidding. So what was your process for, because I know some people thinking about developing videos and blog posts are like, well, how do I come up with all this content? How do I come up with the ideas? For you, was there a method to your madness, or was it simply like, here's what I'm doing in the gym, and then there you go?
Well, here's the thing. I was confident that I was doing great work at my gym. Mm-hmm. So I used to even think to myself, before there was a YouTube and before there was any of this internet marketing, I used to think to myself while I'm consulting my clients or while I'm training them, boy, it'd be really good to have a camera here, or it'd be good if I could record this, because this is some good stuff. Yeah. And I almost felt like not that I was wasting it, but it was like, man, I'm giving so much value to one person, but if I had a little recorder here, recording everything I'm saying, I could provide value for thousands or millions. So that idea creeped in really quickly. So beyond that, just knowing that like what I'm doing is worth watching, I also knew that I had very good answers for a lot of people's questions. And the easiest way to have a consistent source of stimulation for content creation is to simply answer questions. So that's really how it really steamrolled. It grew big because I was just answering questions.
Yeah. And just kind of thinking of objections again, like all of your videos are not like professionally produced. Like they're literally shot on like a camera sitting on a tripod with your gym in the background pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best ones.
And then you're not like, you've gone like, most of your videos, at least the ones that I've seen, are like more than 10 minutes long. They're not like 2 minutes, like Elliot jumping around. It's like in-depth answers. Like you're a great orator, so you speak and kind of give your stance and philosophy on things, and it's kind of against what like YouTube says is like the best videos are short and so forth. And so do you think that really helped you stand out in this marketplace?
Well, I come up with a new term recently, YouTuber. And these are people who just do what they see everybody else doing. Mm-hmm. One of these things a lot of people do now are called jump cuts, right? So you're making a video, and constantly it's like, so, you see people doing it, and you think, well, I need to do that. That's the way to do it. But you can also create wonderful content without all those edits if you brush up your presentation skills. Be charismatic. Mm-hmm. I realized that at that time, there was no way I was going to. Now I've got a whole team where we, professional cameras and, editing guys that do it for me and stuff now. But I got to tell you, I feel far more disconnected from the work that I'm doing now than I did then when it was just me and it was showtime. You put on that camera, it's a matter of infotaining, man, giving people the best that you got, but doing it in such a way that they want to be engaged with you, there are a lot of guys that are super smart, 10 times smarter than me. They call me out. They call me all kinds of names and shit because they're jealous because nobody listens to you. You're boring, right?
Totally. So
So
true. No, it's so good. And like you, how many subscribers do you have on YouTube now? Like 2 million plus?
between all the channels, over 2 million.
Yeah.
Three, really two popular channels.
Yeah, it's not. It's terrific. I think it's such a great. So everyone, if you guys haven't seen Elliot's stuff on YouTube, just literally type his name in, and you'll see his different videos and channels. Just have a look at the way he's doing things. Not that you have to copy him, but just to understand that there are different. You just be yourself, right? Like you're just being yourself. Who you are on camera is who you are in person, and I think that's everyone has that competitive advantage. Like just be yourself, and that's no one else can be you.
Mm-hmm.
So for people starting out, whether they're writing, doing video, what would be like one simple tip you would give to people when they're producing their content?
Oh man. Well, I'll share a little story with you. I'm sure you're familiar with Matt Fury, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I studied internet marketing. I studied copywriting. I studied email marketing. And Matt Fury was one of the guys that I studied and looked up to early on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about a year ago, I was able to have a meeting with him. He lives in Tampa, and he yells at me. He's like, "I don't get it with you, and I don't get it with all you guys with social media now, right?" Because he was he was an email marketer. He's a true direct response marketer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Prior to social media now, which changes things up a little bit, some good, some bad. And he was really confused, and he was like, "Why do you give away all your best stuff?" He's like, I watch your videos, and I'm like, he's upset. He's like, "Why are you telling them all the stuff?" And he's like, it's bringing me back to direct response marketing principles. And he's like, you give them just enough to whet their palate, have them really questioning. Leave them with more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Leave them wanting a little bit more, and then drive them to your offer. And that makes sense. As a marketer, as a business person, that makes sense. You don't want to give away your best stuff I know from personal experience because I like astrology. So there are these women on YouTube, and I go on every month and I watch my astrology update. What's going on with Aries this month? And I thought about this yesterday. I'm watching one woman, and I watch her every month, and at the end of every video, she makes an offer where she says, if you'd like a private reading, because that's a little bit better, it's an upgrade, go to my website. And I thought to myself, I'm never going to hire her for a private reading, because every month I get exactly what I want when I watch this video. I almost felt a little bad, but the fact is that by giving your best stuff away, you're going to drive a lot of attention to yourself. You're going to get a lot of people. You're going to get tons of, especially if your content's good. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to be attracted to you. But I didn't test this, but this is marketing principle, and I got yelled at by Matt Fury, and he does all kinds of jujitsu, and he kicked my ass. It's against direct response marketing principles. So what I would say, and if I were to do things a little differently now, at the time, to me, it was all about the numbers. It was all about the actual views I was getting. I got to a particular point where I was creating content, and my number one objective was more views, more subscribers, more views, more subscribers. Because, and this is where it got a little tricky, YouTube actually became a business, a part of my business, instead of a lead source, right? And this is where, I made a video this week, it's going to go up on Sunday, where you can get confused and think that social media is a business. But unless you're getting paid for your content directly, like people watch it and you're getting paid, it's not a business. And I think a lot of people can get confused with content marketing by giving away all their stuff, not getting paid for giving their stuff, and not having a true reason for people to click and give you more stuff. So if I were to give a tip to someone today, granted that you're not a YouTuber, meaning I'm earning money because lots of people like watching me, which is a rare thing, They say that the average, there are millions of YouTube channels. The average channel has something like 50 views or less. Wow. I think it's less actually. So to get out there is a challenge. But if you're a marketer, internet marketing is no different than traditional direct response marketing. You want to get in front of as many leads as possible, but you want to give them a reason to do business with you. Show them your best. Show them what you're capable of. But if you're a businessman and you're doing this to sell products or to sell your services, then it is good principle to leave them wanting a little bit more and having a good call to action so that they can, be interested in doing business with you.
Beautiful. Great advice, my man. This has been really good. So final question for you. I was asking Greg O'Gallagher this question as well. If you got into a fight with a bear, do you think you could take the bear?
No.
Bears in Florida, but
no, we get alligators.
Yeah. So if you got into a fight with an alligator, what would happen there?
Oh man, well, bear or alligator, I wouldn't be so sure that I'd win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the story of who's the guy that got his scalp ripped off and he kept fighting?
I don't even want to know.
Jeremiah Johnson.
I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, right?
Do some research on Jeremiah Johnson, one of the American pioneers of the West.
Wow.
But there's a story about him fighting a bear. I mean, he's a badass. These are like the old pioneers of the West. And, he lived the rest of his life with like a part of his scalp ripped off because the bear just went, swiped his face.
Wow.
I don't think I'd win.
Well, yeah, I've yet to talk to anyone who answers that question positively. And again, there's no rhyme or reason for that question. I just thought we'd throw it in. So for you guys watching, again, this is just like when you create your own content, you create all the rules, right? There's just like have fun with it, throw in some random stuff, and if you don't like this, then it's all good. That's part of why we do what we do, to repel certain people and attract others. Elliot, thanks again so much. Best website for people to check your stuff out?
Hey, since we're talking about YouTube, just go to YouTube and search Elliott Hulse. I have an Elliott Hulse channel, which is me just talking about, lots of things related to life. And then the Strength Camp channel, which is where I talk about strength.
Nice. And some cool powerlifting and strongman stuff. Very cool. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time, Elliot. For everyone watching, hope you guys got some great value out of this. Remember, if you're a health or fitness professional who wants to turn your expertise into a thriving online business so you can impact more people, make more income, and enjoy more freedom, well, this is for you. Content is such a great play, and it is the future. So if you've enjoyed this, share it with your friends. Let them know that if they're in our space as well, that they can carve out their own little niche and make an impact in this world as well. Talk to you guys later.